Well, g'day guys, it's Juzzie Smith here. I've got a really special lesson because this is probably the most important lesson of all, and that's how to get really clear single notes and be able to play with ease. So hang out with me for this lesson and you'll be playing so much better. To start off with, grab a harmonica. I've got a key of C diatonic harmonica. That's probably the best harmonica to learn on because there's a lot of lower ones and there's a lot of higher ones, so it's quite in the middle. And this is a Seidel Classic 1847. I really like it, easy to play. And what I recommend to start off with, first lesson, is how to hold the harmonica. I really like to hold it so there's enough space here for my lips to be able to go over the harmonica. And I can almost touch this, so I get a reference of where I am on the harmonica just by feeling where my lip is. That sort of comes down the track. The more you play, the more you learn, and you just get a feel for just going hole 4. Wow, how do you go straight like that? It's because you practice. Hole 1. Yeah, 6. Whoa! You know, all these things, you just get the hang of it, and you don't have to think. The less you think, the easier it is to play. My thumb, my index finger, they're sort of even. I really like that. And then these fingers can go up or they can curl down. I like to have them curl down, and because when I use my right hand I like to cup the sound a lot. And the way I do that is I put my thumb here as a pivot point, and then you hold like that, so it's like you're holding right over. It's like if you look in there, it's totally dark. It's holding the sound in there. But this is something that will come later, because what I really want to show you now is just how to get really smooth single notes. These 3 little tips and exercises come from a course I made called Press Play and Blow Away, and they've worked and they've taught thousands of people, which is a beautiful feeling. So to start, the first exercise is probably my most important one, because I really like to teach people to use their nose to let air in and out. Okay. So to start off with, single notes. A lot of people go, man, I can't get them, they're too tricky. And the reason why they're tricky is because you need to push your lips right out. And a lot of people, as they get older, lose the flexibility here. So what I'd recommend is if you whistle more during the day, that just naturally gives you lip strength and you're pushing your lips out. You can do the kiss smile exercise. You do that for half a minute and you'll know what I'm talking about. It builds up a lot of muscles in your mouth. You push your lips right out and then you smile. You can even make that click noise, sucking in. And as I've said in previous lessons, don't do this while you're looking at people, as you know what will happen. I'm a funny boy.
That makes it all the worse.
It makes it worse. I know. To get the single notes, what's important is your lips go out like this. Don't go like that, because it just doesn't. This part here is the important part, to get right in there and seal the note. So we're going to start on the simplest note, which is hole number 1. The reason I say the simplest, because there's no hole on the left hand side, so it's a lot easier to get hole 1 to start with. So we're just going to practice blowing and then sucking on hole 1. So it's like lips right out, big kiss, and put your lips right over the harmonica so it's locking into the seals here. If you feel you're getting 2 notes, you can always practice by just covering the notes to know what the sound is like okay, I know the sound I'm after, and then you go, okay. See that? I started with 2 notes and I just moved my head, pushed my lips out a bit more until the 1 note, I could hear that note that I was after. So you want to just practice this and get that real nice tone. If you can't get the inhale sounding good, the breathing exercise is so important for getting a good tone. So try just blowing and sucking in like you're inhaling and yawning, feeling like yawn. it opens up and gives you the right tone. So I'm just leaving my lips over holes 1, 2, and 3 relaxed, and that just gives me the chordal sound, but it gives me that feeling of relaxed. And now go to one note. Same feeling, yawning, relaxed. I leave my nose open all the time, just let air out and let air in. And that's what I'm going to teach you with this next exercise, as it's really helped me a lot in my playing. I never get dizzy, I never fill up with air, I just always relaxed. So this exercise goes like this. We're going to blow on hole 1, and while we're still blowing, slide up to 2, and it should get to a single note of hole 2 blowing, and then slide back to hole 1, and then we're going to breathe in our nose while leaving the lips on the harmonica. It's going to sound like this. This is teaching your nose to have a rhythm, take in air, just so you can start again. And you can, the reason I teach you this is because you're learning how to take air in, because you're just blowing, so you need air to keep doing this exercise. Because now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, blowing, and then take in air with your nose. So this is the next exercise. So this is a great exercise, because the reason why is your goal for this is to go as high as you can and back down and use your nose. It's like a rhythm. Your nose has the same rhythm as your notes. So you've only got a bit amount of air to, that little space to fill yourself up again before going. All right, so why I like to show this exercise is because you can go all the way to hole 10 and back down and breathe and still be relaxed with practice, and that means you're doing really well. So think of it like if you're blowing, don't blow too hard to get the note. Think of it like you're only just blowing on your fingertip, gently, not blowing. It's more like just letting the air out smoothly, like you're blowing a candle, but it's like the candle's not going out. You're just letting it flicker, and you're being really gentle, because that's the best tone. That's why you need to have a good seal. So now we're going to go up. I'm going to show you how I can go to hole 10 and back down. So this is a good way to practice. You go one at a time. You get the idea. See, I'm totally relaxed because I'm letting the air out and I'm taking it in, and just keeping my balance. But I'll show you, I can go up to hole 10 and back down without being, out of air. So 2, here we go, 3, 4. And I could do it again if I wanted to. And hole 10 was a little bit tight, and that's what, you learn about the pressure you need for each note, because the lower ones sort of need a little bit more air because they're bigger reeds. So you get the feeling, you do an exercise like this, that you get the feeling of how much air you need for the notes. And now this exercise reversed is you're just sucking. Sucking is a lot harder to get the right tone. That's why it's really good to just do the breathing exercise first. Make sure your tone's really good for that, and then try the sucking exercise now. So what you're doing is sucking on 1 and then sliding up to 2 and back to 1. Now you're letting the air out your nose, so it's reverse. So you're sucking 1 to 2 to 1, then you gotta let the air out your nose. Okay, and you might be noticing 2 sounds really awful, because a lot of people that don't know how to use the relaxed tone will sound more like It's because what they're doing is they're trying too hard. They're not letting the passageway open. So what it's causing is actually a bent note. So try this if you can. Try and suck in air through your nose while sucking in hole 2. You fill up pretty quick, but that's the tone you want. And then you can learn to not use your nose and just get that same tone. But yeah, it's quite tricky. So I know if you're having troubles with hole 2, people have come up to me years after playing harmonica and they still can't get hole 2, and I explain this and they go, what? And they work it out just like that. So don't worry if you're having troubles, because this is the exercise to do to make it a lot easier. So now we're going to do the same similar exercise. So sucking 1, sucking 2, sucking 1, and then let the air out. Sucking 1, 2, and then 3, and then 2, and then 1, let the air out. So it's the same sort of pattern, but you're just inhaling now. So. And to let the air out, sometimes you might feel like you're only letting a bit of air out your nose and you're not getting enough air out. So it's good to practice just taking a big breath and seeing how quick you can empty your air out your nose. It's like getting pushed in the belly and you just go, if you've ever been winded, you lose your air very quickly. But it's like that, you push your belly and you're totally empty. So you're free to fill yourself up again. So there's a lot of ways to try and be really gentle with it and not have to go use all this time to get the air out of your system. So I'll show you that I can go all the way up to hole 10 and back down, inhaling, and just stay relaxed. So this is your goal, is to be able to get up to hole 10. 3, 4. And I could do it again. See how I'm quite relaxed still. So this is one of the most amazing things. Like if you can practice this just a little bit every day, your harmonica playing is going to go so skyrocketed, because it helps everything you do. Like check this out. That blow there, I was let air out my nose because I needed to, because all those notes were sucking. Yeah, because blues playing, it's a lot of sucking. It's probably 80% inhaling, and then just you got to get those little blows now and then, and you just let that air out so you can feel comfortable. Otherwise, you're just going to be just like, oh. And some people take their lips away and go, and to me, it doesn't feel good, because you lose your place on the harmonica, and you also get a sound, which if you have a microphone there, it's not going to sound so good. Because if you're playing with a bullet mic, for example, you do that, it's going to sound terrible. So amazing exercise, learning how to use your nose. I'm going to give you backing tracks at the end of this so you can have a listen, and also put it on my Patreon page so you can, if you're part of the Patreon, that's just me saying thank you for supporting me, and I give you extra stuff like jamming tracks and more exercises, so it helps you learn in more fun way, and we get to connect a bit more. But so that's exercise 1. Now I'd like to show you exercise 2. So exercise 2 is just a major scale, C major scale, starting on hole 4. So practice what I was telling you. Just try and push your lips out if you're still getting a double notes. Or move yourself if you feel like you've got the best seal. And then we just have a pattern. On 4 we go blow, suck, and then up to 5, blow, suck, to 6, blow, suck, and then 7 is inhale and then exhale. So and that's a great exercise to practice, because you can go up and then back down. And then back down. So I'll give you a jamming track for that, and makes it just more fun to jam with when you're practicing. Okay, so last one is exercise 3, which is a minor sort of exercise. Just means we're playing in D minor but on a C harmonica. You don't really need to know this stuff yet, but it just gives a nice cruisy, mellow, moody sound, the minor. So what you're doing is sucking on 4 and then sliding 5 to 6. This is really good sliding exercise. And then blowing 6 to 5 to 4. So this just teaches you to get that feeling of moving. And if you're finding you feel your lips are dragging a bit, sometimes you just need to lick your lips. I like to put a little lip balm on sometimes, because licking your lips still gets dry. A little bit of lip balm, a natural lip balm, can just sort of help keep it a bit more lubricated, so you can move around and make it easier to get those notes. So that's the 3 exercises I recommend. If you practice that a little bit every day, you're going to be blowing your life away. So I'm going to pick up my guitar now and just show you how we can play these exercises with a cool backing track so it sounds more groovy. So I'm going to set myself up, play some guitar. I just wanted to mention, because some people say, what's a good harmonica holder? This is amazing. This is a gecko harmonica holder. What they are is, like, you just pull it up and it goes down like that, and you lock it into the position that you like, and you just drop it down. It's there, you know, it's not going to move. So traditional ones, you have to screw them into place, unscrew it. So this is really cool. You find the right position. I forgot to mention as well, when you're playing, try and tilt your harmonica up a bit. The reason why is, if you tilt it down, sometimes you can dribble into it, and saliva in a harmonica doesn't sound so good. So the good thing with this as well is this part here can tilt up and down, and it's got a magnet, so if you have a metal harmonica, it can just lock in. And Farmer Foot Drums, who makes these, I think he has another part. If you don't have a metal harmonica, you can just stick on there. So I'll put the links in the description if you want to check them out. But really, really beautiful, and looks so good, so well made. Good on ya, Farmer Foot Drums, you've done well. So let's set up and have some fun. So for the exercise 1, what we're going to do now is give you a backing track so it just sounds cooler when you're practicing. And so we're just blowing hole 1. I'm going to give you a backing track that goes like this. And then you can work your way up. So I've got this backing track on my Patreon page, as it's my way of saying thank you for supporting me as I really want to support you. So I've put like a 3-minute backing track of just that, so you get to just move around and get used to playing harmonica in a nice way, because you get to jam along. Now we'll try going up to hole 4, all the way up and back down, and you'll see how it sounds nice with a backing track. 3, 4. And again. And it's beautiful because you can see I'm really relaxed. It's because I'm using my nose just to let that air in. Such a great exercise. And trust me, it might feel weird at the start, but if you do it a little bit every day, you'll be going, wow, this is awesome. Makes harmonica playing so much easier. So now, exercise number 2 is just a C major scale. So you can do this over the same backing track, because all you're doing is going up the scale, and you can just go back down it, and then you can play around with your own single notes, just making up your own melodies over the backing track, which goes like this. 2, whole 4 blow-ins. Remember the C scale. 3, 4. The backing track sounds a lot better than that. It's actually tricky to do at the same time. But I'm going to give you a slower version and a faster version, so it's easier just to move. Or you can just do it your own time. You can just go. The main thing is you do the speed that you're comfortable with, but do it with the backing track, because it gives you a feeling and a rhythm, and it makes your playing, smoother. So now for the third one, it's a minor playing, so I'm going to play D minor to C chord, and that's all. So once again, I'll have this as a backing track, make it a bit more groovy so it sounds cool to play along with. But just sucking 4, 5, 6, and then blowing 6, 5, 4, 3, 4. So, same thing. Once you get comfortable with these notes, just play around making up your own little licks. So, for example, I'm just thinking the first chord, the D minor, I'm just sucking those notes, playing around with any sucking note, then any blowing note. And you can just get more into it, but once you learn this, it's a beautiful, that's where the blues scale comes from. So you got this. Which is other lessons that I'll teach. But you just got to get your single notes smooth, moving freely on the harmonica. But yeah, jam to this every day, a little bit every day, and you watch, you'll be blowing your life away and having a great time, and your progression and your skills will just go like that. All right, so have fun with all these lessons, and yeah, if you want to check out the Patreon page, I'll just put it in the description. And if you want to do the press play and blow away course, that's also in the description. But most of all, just keep having fun and keep blowing your life away.